What up, y'all? My name is Nate. This is Throttle Only. This is a 2023 Maserati Grecale. Let's check it out. So starting with the key fob here for the Maserati, you can see on the back here, there's this beautiful Trident logo here. On the other side, all of your standard controls, lock, unlock, you can double tap to unlock and open that trunk and use the alarm button here. All right, y'all, so I'm in front of this beautiful Maserati here. Let's just start with this paint color. I mean, this looks absolutely gorgeous. This paint color is Bianco Astro Metallic, and just look at it. It has to be my all-time favorite paint color. So let's also look at this hood. This hood looks super aggressive. Of course, it's gonna fall just in line with Maserati and that name. There are 4 body lines here on the front, and it also has some different contours to it as well. I just love the look of this thing. Then as we make our way down, there's a giant Maserati Trident logo there with this giant grille that looks absolutely amazing. Definitely has massive road presence. Just above that Trident, there's also a small Maserati logo there as well. So if we look a little bit closer at the vents here on this Maserati, you might notice on the right side there's some open mesh, and then on the left side it's actually closed. It's very interesting why they did that, but it still looks very cool. And then as we take a little bit closer look at this grille, there's actually a front camera up here, which is super nice. I love vehicles with front cameras because that just means you're not gonna run into curbs. And the last thing I wanna mention are these headlights, which look super nice. They have LED daytime running lamps, as well as LED projectors. And if you actually look inside the headlight, it has Maserati spelled out, and it also has a beautiful Trident logo there as well. So looking at the side of the vehicle here, starting with the wheels here, so these are 20-inch staggered machine polished, I don't really know. Who cares? They look absolutely amazing, and they have little tridents in them. There's also polished red calipers behind them. There's gonna be 255 tires up front here and 295 in the rear. Pretty sick. Then above from that, there's a Modena logo right here. 3 functional vents that look really sick. I absolutely love black labeling. And then as we make our way back, some nice mirrors here that obviously fold. The LED indicator is on the outside there, and this does have surround cameras, so there is a camera on the outside of that mirror. It also has blind spot monitoring, and it can auto dim as well. And getting inside the Maserati is super simple. With the key fob in your pocket, just walk up, put your hand underneath here, it'll unlock, and you can just pull and open. So the only body line that I'm seeing on this vehicle is this one right here that sits just below these door handles here. There's also a beautiful blacked out side skirt that I think looks really nice, goes really well with the nice blacked out accents that this car has. Then on the back here, since this does have the 295 tires here, there is a bit of a fender flare there in the rear. And then as we make our way up, just above that tire there, there's a beautiful Maserati logo here that's blacked out. And this thing just looks absolutely gorgeous. All right, so now we're looking at the aggressive rear end here on this Maserati. Let's start with the top. So there's a shark fin antenna, and then as we make our way down here, there's a roof spoiler, and the third brake light will be hidden inside of there. Then as we make our way down a little bit further, there is a wiper here just because of the slope of this glass. There's also this beautiful Maserati logo. I'm not sure why the Maserati logo here is not in black. Same with this Grecale logo. When the rest of the logos are black on this car, I think that would just look so much better. But nonetheless, the logos look absolutely beautiful. As we make our way down, this also has a reverse camera there. And then on either side here, we have these beautiful LED tail lamps. They don't illuminate in amber when the turn signals are turned on, but they have a very nice design and look to them. And in my opinion, the absolute best styling piece on this vehicle has to be the rear diffuser and these dual or quad exhausts. This thing just looks super aggressive from the rear. Let's review the specifications. There are 3 trims available for the Maserati Grecale. The lowest trim is the GT, then the Modena, and the top model is the Trofeo. So this is the Modena trim. The color is Bianco Astro Metallic. The base price for a new 2024 is about $75,000 US, and the one that I have today is around $90,000 US due to options like the Premium Plus package, Tech Assistance package, and the 3D carbon fiber trim. Under the hood, there's a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with a mild hybrid system. It pushes out 325 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. And according to Maserati, it can go 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. It has an 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. And for the fuel economy, it gets 22 miles per gallon in the city, 29 on the highway, and 25 combined. All right, so now let's take a listen to the exhaust notes on this Maserati. It has 3 different drive modes. The lowest is Comfort, then GT, and then Sport. Okay, it's time to look at the trunk space here on this Grecale. We're gonna use the key fob here. We're just gonna double tap right here and it opens right on up. So I left my camera gear in here just to show you how much room there is. And you can see there is a decent amount of room. And let's quickly just look at the controls up top here. So you can quickly just lock the vehicle if you'd like to, and you can also just close the tailgate and not lock the vehicle. There's a partition that sits right here, and another one that just sits right above here that you can extend. So here's what it looks like with the trunk completely cleared out. You can see there's a pretty good amount of room here. Underneath this beautiful floor mat that says Maserati with the Trident logo here, you have the battery, and also some supplies. And you can pull back this cover here, and then you can pull down the seats, make sure that the seats are moved forward enough, and they'll go ahead and fold down. And you can see they also have a 3-way split on them. There's a 12-volt adapter right here, a hook on this side, an LED light, and then another LED light and hook on this side. And here's how much room you have with the seats all the way flat. I had to move up the front seats there, and I also removed the partition there as well. So you can see you could fit some pretty big items in here if you'd like to. So sitting in the rear seats in this Maserati Grecale, these seats are extremely comfortable. I'll start by talking about these headrests because these headrests look very nice. It has that beautiful Trident logo on them. They are a little bit small though. The overall interior of this vehicle with these seats is called ghiaccio. They look absolutely amazing. As far as legroom for me, since I'm 6'1", I did have to move up the passenger seat just so that I could fit in here. But when I do that, there is a decent amount of room, but it is a challenge getting in and out for my long legs. Behind the passenger seat, there is a little storage compartment there. That's very nice. Decent amount of headroom. There is a grab handle here as well, and then a beautiful panoramic roof here. It does have this little partition here in the center, and of course that can open and close, and also has a cover as well. Now as we look at these door panels, the door panels look so good. There's a Sonos Faber logo on the very top where a tweeter is, and then beautiful carbon fiber that just flows very nicely with the rest of the interior. Then as we make our way down just a little bit further, beautiful leather material, the ghiaccio, and then it flows into this nice piano black where the window switch is, as well as the lock and unlock controls. Then there's a small area for some storage as well as that grab handle. Interesting thing though, to open up this door, you have to push this little button, so I guess the doors are electronically assisted, which is pretty cool. And in the center here, there's no digital display to control your AC or your climate. There's just 2 vents and you have some knobs. There's also one USB type A and a USB type C. And here's a quick look at the passenger side here. You can see there's a Sonos Faber little tweeter up here. Some more of this beautiful carbon fiber. I mean, just look at this weave. It looks so gorgeous. And then this beautiful leather, and it comes back into this beautiful Sonos Faber here. And at nighttime, this will actually illuminate, which is very cool. Gloss black panels right here, a little storage cubby right here. And this is how you'll open the door. And here is the emergency door open latch that will be manual and not electric assisted. Another speaker here. And of course, just a little bit of storage in here. Let's see how plush this armrest is. You can see that's decently soft there. As we make our way into the vehicle, a nice Maserati sill here. I wish it was illuminated, that would be pretty cool. Automatic seat controls here. There's actually a thigh extension on this as well. And just look at how plush these seats are. And these front seats are heated and ventilated. There's that beautiful Maserati logo. Let's take a look at the glove box here. Decent size. Nice materials here on the dash. And even up top as well. Looks very nice. Let's take a look at the driver's side. All right, so on the driver's side, pretty much the same thing we saw on the passenger side. Beautiful materials here all the way throughout. The only thing that's really going to be different is this touch panel here. It will illuminate when the vehicle is on. You can see just barely some of what the switches say there. Lock and unlock controls, as well as all 4 windows. And of course, the mirror controls there as well. And then coming on in, another Maserati sill here. You have beautiful aluminum and rubber pedals there. Same nice seats and materials we saw on the other side there. All right, so here's a look at the center console / armrest area here, and we'll see how plush it is. It's not very plush, but it still is comfortable, and it has this nice ghiaccio color to it. And as we open it up, there's a 12-volt DC adapter down there. You can easily fit your key fob down here, and there is a dedicated spot for the key fob in there. Closing it on up, cup holders are just in front of that. You have more of this beautiful carbon fiber right here, as well as a charging pad. And if you lift here, it'll expose another small storage area here. There's a USB type A and a USB type C. This is very, very tiny. I don't think I could even fit my phone in here. Nope. So now we'll take a look at the center infotainment screens here. We're going to start with the bottom one. So on the left side, here's the hazard button. This button will turn off the upper screen here. And then you can see in the center here, here's all of your climate control options. Heated seat, ventilated seat, heated steering wheel. If you want to choose where you want the air to specifically flow out of, you can choose the little people icons there. And then of course you can just quickly adjust your temperature there. All of your other buttons are down here. You can turn off your parking sensors, your auto ignition off, your hill descent, as well as your stability control. And then on the sides from the little climate section here, you can adjust the clock. Now the clock is just right here, and this is digital. So I currently have it in classic. I can turn it over to sport. As you can see, it changes not only here, but also up here. And I can also put it to design. It's pretty cool. You can also use it as a compass, the pedals. You can also turn it to a G meter. So another cool thing to note about this clock here, not only the fact that you can customize it, but also if I were to say put my phone on the wireless charger here, it'll actually show you that it's charging. Kind of cool. So if you want to choose your lights, click on the light section right there. You can have your lights at auto, you can turn them on, so on and so forth. On this side here are your memory seat settings, and you can see here that this is for the driver, and then you can also do one for the passenger as well. And then the ambient lighting section here, there's warm, neutral, cold, or you can just have it off. You can also adjust the brightness if you wish. Something that's cool about this, you can see it is currently in red. It is currently in red, but if you were to turn it into neutral or cold or even warm, whichever specific drive mode you're in, it'll actually match that. But there are only 3 drive modes, so really the only one that I like is sport mode, because it's just going to turn everything red. So to shift into gear, you might notice up here there's this little panel. Currently I'm in park. There's reverse, neutral, drive, and then if you hit drive a second time there, you'll go into the manual drive mode where you can use the column mounted paddle shifters. So I'm going to go ahead and click into reverse just real quick, just to show you the cameras here. And it's very nice. It has a front camera as well. And we'll go ahead and click into park. So now let's take a look at the screen up here. So this does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Apple CarPlay, of course, is the primary one I'm going to use as an iPhone user, but some other pages that are pretty cool in this are the performance pages. As you can see, there's turbo, torque, oil pressure that you can monitor. If you want to watch the e-hybrid system, go to work. You can do that while you're driving. It's pretty cool. So as I push on the pedal here, you can see a nice illustration there. If I hit controls, you can control some different items here. If you want to just quickly hit your cameras, it'll take you back there. And then also, everything that you might want to configure here is going to be buried in your settings option there. I'm not going to go through everything, but just real quick, doors and locks, seats and comfort, software updates. You can reset things if you would like to. So pretty much everything is going to be here if you want to configure it. But primarily, I think the best screen, especially while driving, is this one right here. You can just look at your performance pages. So let's take a look at the steering wheel now. So of course you have this beautiful Trident logo here, Maserati in the center. And this steering wheel is pretty comfortable. It's got wrapped in leather and it's not too chunky and it's not too small either. Almost a flat bottom right here. Very nice brushed aluminum look on the bottom here. The start and stop button for the engine is actually going to be on the steering wheel. Pretty cool. Very Italian-esque, similar to Alfa Romeo. Then you also have your drive mode selector right here, as well as your suspension selector here. So if you were to select just in the center here, it'll show you right there. So you can either have a sport suspension on or off. And then as you toggle the specific drive modes, there's GT and comfort. And as you do so, this center screen here will also change. There's GT, and then there's sport mode. So back to the steering wheel, on this left side here, this is where you'll control your digital tach behind the steering wheel. There's also controls for the phone. And then on the right side, there are all the controls for the cruise control, and you can set distance, stuff like that. And then on the back of the steering wheel, there are the column mounted paddle shifters that feel very nice and weighted. Standard wiper controls are behind there. And turn signals on this side, and you can also initiate your lane keep right here on the side. Okay, so now looking at the digital instrument gauge cluster here behind the steering wheel. So first off, we're going to go ahead and customize this little gauge right here. And to do so, you'll be using this button right here. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that. And then you can see I'm just toggling through all of the items that you could potentially use. You can have it blank. It'll show music. There's a G-force meter, a compass. There's your temperature, miles per gallon. There's trip A, trip B. And then this is usually where I like to keep it. This will just show me where the traction is. Clearly you can see this is a rear wheel drive biased all-wheel drive system. And you can also see that too when you go ahead and push on the gas. So then also, if you would like to customize further, there's this little menu option right here with multiple lines. If you click that, then you can go ahead and scroll down. You can have your head-up display on or off, and you can also customize the cluster layout. I'm going to go ahead and click OK on that one. And currently I'm in the evolved layout, but if I wanted to use the classic, we'll use that one. And you have more of a classic design. It really reminds me of Mercedes' new digital instrument gauge clusters. And I'm going to go ahead and select the very last one here, which is relaxed. And that's what the relaxed looks like. I'll go ahead and take off the lane management on the right side. And so you can see it's just very plain. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it back. I'm going to actually choose classic this time, and we'll leave it there for the remainder. All right, and then lastly here, to customize this section right here, pretty straightforward. All you have to do is use the arrow buttons here. So as I just push down on the arrow buttons right here, it'll just begin to change. And it's nice that the speed, the digital speed at least, stays at the very top of the screen there. There's trip A, trip B, and I like it to just be a plain old digital speed. Okay, so before we go ahead and take it out for a drive, let's go ahead and look at these visors here. So on the driver's side visor, there are some built-in garage links that you can use. This is a pretty decent sized visor as well. Nice sized mirror. There's no extension on it, however, but it does move back. And this is like a very soft, almost like a felt material. It's a liner that goes all the way back. I prefer a suede or like Alcantara or something, but it still looks very nice. And lastly, here are the controls that will control the sunroof here. So you can completely open it using this one here. You can tilt or vent it, and you can also close the shade. You can call for assistance, and you can open the trunk with this button, and you can just toggle your regular lights using the rest of these buttons here. All right, so I'm now taking out the Maserati Grecale for a drive here. I'm already in sport mode. I'm just gonna let the car shift for me, and we'll see how fast it is. On draggy, I was getting about almost 6 seconds or so, which is pretty respectable for an SUV like this. Let's go ahead and see how it does. These paddle shifters on the back here are super nice. They remind me of Alfa Romeo. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the 0 to 60. I'm gonna brake boost it just cause. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that definitely has some power to it. That is pretty respectable in sport mode. Let's go ahead and try another one. I'm gonna do manual mode this time. And no brake boost. Oh yeah, that's fun. What a fun car. Oh my gosh. Let's see how it does in this little corner here. It's not too bad. Not bad at all. The steering is pretty direct once you have it in sport mode. I'm gonna go ahead and change it over to comfort mode and see how it does. I was testing this a bit earlier, and it is definitely way more springy in comfort mode, which is really good. It means that it will just make a really nice commuter. It's a lot more efficient in comfort mode as well. You get a lot better gas mileage. In GT mode is kind of that middle of the road. You still have a decent throttle response, and it is pretty efficient. It's not going to be as bad as sport mode. So I'm going to click it on back over to comfort mode here. Just floor it. Oh, and it gives you some nice little pops there too. Yeah, this is a pretty fun SUV. As I'm coming to a stop, wow, these brakes are really bad. I don't know if it's just this tester or what, but the brakes on this are definitely not Brembos. I showed earlier that it had red calipers on there. Those are not Brembos underneath there. This is, you got to be a little bit careful in this thing, or just swap out the brakes when you get it, because that was a little bit scary. But this does have all-wheel drive. It is a little bit rear-wheel bias though. Not bad cornering in comfort mode either. Not bad at all. So other than just those aspects, I mean, this car is not only beautiful from the outside, but it is just beautiful from the inside as well. I mean, just look at all of these materials. The sound system in this with 22 speakers by Sonus Faber. I've never heard of them before, but it really kicks butt. If you turn on the surround sound system, it just really rocks, man. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this review of the Maserati Grecale. This is the first time I've ever driven a Grecale, and I honestly really like it. I personally probably wouldn't purchase one new, at least, because these are probably going to sit around $90,000 or upwards of $80,000, which is pretty expensive for the level of performance and size and all that. I would prefer something else, like maybe an X5M or something along those lines. But nonetheless, I thank you guys. If you guys have made it this far into the video, please consider liking or subscribing. I would really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.